Hi, I'm Neil Sackmary.
Hi, I'm State Trooper Sean Hagstrom with the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol Division, PEIO. Please stay tuned for the next episode of Trooper Talk.
And together, we can make a difference. Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with this edition of Trooper Talk. We have Trooper Hagstrom here. I know you've been on the show, but please introduce yourself and tell us, what is this?
I'm Sergeant Chakowski. I'm the sergeant down in Primm, Nevada. We used to have the motor unit that recently got disbanded, but I am also a motor sergeant as well. And this is a BMW RT 1250, 2024, brand new. We just actually got them a few months ago, and this is what we're out patrolling with. So you kind of, with the disbandment of the motor unit, you'll actually see motors pretty much every day of the week, a motor unit on the urban traffic squads.
I have something to tell you that's very cool, but I'll tell you, please introduce yourself and tell us what it is that you do.
I'm Trooper Villanueva with Nevada State Police. I am the sworn recruiter for Southern Command or Region 1.
And thanks again for being here.
Absolutely.
You know, let's see what we got for some pictures, too. Ah, there it is.
That's one of the pictures I took of our fine motor unit at our new office there.
So, the question that I have a few questions.
Sure.
So, when it comes to, like, the things that are on this motorcycle, like in the back here, does that make sense? That have, like, you know, canisters and things like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right? And you have your rifle here and your helmet here and all that type of stuff. This stays on the motorcycle when you drive, and I'm not asking for specifics, but you know, like all this stuff is on there so that, like, I'm trying to say that when they take their cars, they have doors and they put stuff in a trunk or a back seat, or you know what I mean? Like, you have this and you have that, and then, like, you know what I mean? So, like, you have a lot less area, right? But you have, like, a firearm here. I mean, like, you have to be even, not to say more proficient, I don't want to take away, but, like, in a different way maybe proficient. Does that make sense? I mean, if there was ever a problem, there's nothing here that helps you. It, like, protects you in that way, right?
Right. Yeah, the profile is significantly smaller than, you know, just a normal patrol unit and whatnot. And yeah, for this, like, as far as you know, if you're on this bike and someone comes by and hits it, you're probably not in very good shape. But in a car, of course, you know, you can. That's
like, I'm worried people don't see these guys in their cars. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, how do you protect yourself when you drive the motorcycle?
Situational awareness has a lot to do with it. Like, I want to say it's been like 10 years. We actually had a trooper where it was actually someone having a medical episode or was impaired, and happened at 95 and Boulder Highway, where they were kind of all over the road, and the trooper was. We had the Harleys at the time, and trooper was on a traffic stop, and he looked back and sees his car, but he could hear it on the radio also. Right, so he sees this car coming, and then he actually had to, like, jump over the concrete barrier.
We have to, when it comes to going to state line and the Primm and all these type of things, from people coming in and then also leaving, right, who watch the show, they have to know not only you're there, but, like, the motorcycles are there. And so the motorcycles can do things that the normal patrol cars can't. They do things that are very sneaky because not only they care, but they want to stop people from doing the speeding.
One of our other motor troopers, Jeff, he was the guy, he was the model. But yeah, we'd be doing stuff like, you know, hiding in a dumpster. We'd be going up and hiding in a dumpster. And I took a picture of him.
I noticed the other day that on the 215 out, it's not 65, it was 55. They took the 65 and then they put the little thing over it, and I felt like I was on Cannonball Run. right? When they put an X over
Oh,
the X over the
Yeah.
65, because I was driving when I saw the motorcycle, right? And I go, oh, because I was doing 78 miles an hour, and I thought, well, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? But no, that was not the case. Because I was used to 65 and it was 55, and it was like, oh, you better slow down.
People take that risk, right? Coming into town, they know what the speed limit is, clearly marked. Every few miles, maybe every mile it's marked, so people know the speed.
Just to let people know, because that bright line, I just went to a press conference thing yesterday, and it's going to be scheduled from out to 2029, I believe. So it's going to be some extensive road work. They're going to get everything ready, whether they take this train through the center median, and then there's going to be some passes that might be in California where it goes over to the side of the interstate. But there's going to be probably a lot of construction going on for the next 4 years. So people have to prepare for that, because it's going to be lower speeds, a lot of people working in those areas.
Yeah.
And you got to think construction zone. If you're speeding in a construction zone, I'm letting the public
Tell
know,
'em.
you're going to have double the fines. And they're not messing around with that. You end up going to court over that, and the judge sees that you're speeding in a construction zone. That's going to be no different than speeding in a school zone, because you have active people working in those areas. So, and they take that very seriously.
I saw that too, where it said double the penalty. I go, this is the time to go to 60 miles an hour. You know what I mean? Just enjoy your travel.
You'll still get there.
You'll still get there, you know what I'm saying?
What do you show up? Maybe 5 or 10 minutes
Yeah,
later.
it's
I mean, it's not much time at all.
not even worth it.
Absolutely.
You ever pulled somebody over and they were watching a movie?
I have actually, and a lot of people think that because it's on a mount.
Because you said that, and
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
who's driving
Yeah.
and watching a Netflix?
Yep.
But
Yeah.
There's a lot of technology now that allows you to like plug in a little dongle essentially into your USB, and it'll play on your infotainment system. And they think that it's just okay because it's playing on they're not holding their phone, but it's you still can't be distracted. It's still distracted driving.
yeah, you can't be watching a movie, right?
absolutely not.
Like I mean, this is
Yeah, so that's the other thing too. 10 maybe over is maybe not subconscious, right? But doing 100, 115, 120, you're actively choosing to go that fast. There's no way that you're unaware that you're going that fast, passing cars that
Yeah,
fast.
passing the cars.
Passing the signs and everything. You can tell that you're going that fast. So going over 100 is a choice, and it's unacceptable anywhere in the state.
And Neil, I'm going to add on too.
tell
This month, in April, we also have joining forces for distracted driving. And that's distracted driving. It's anything it takes your mind and everything else off from what you're doing for driving. You always got to be paying attention. That's one of the biggest things that, like I said, most of our crashes in the valley, not impaired driving, but it's distracted driving. People taking their eyes off the roadway and their mind is somewhere else, whether it's subconscious, like they said. But we just need to be more mindful, on the roadway, because you got to think it's just not you. There's other people out there. They're taking their kids to school. People need to get to work. If there's a crash that occurs, guess what? That's going to reroute people. That's going to disrupt everybody's morning. So we're just asking people to plan ahead, because we've talked about this numerous times on your show. Hey, if you know, always look for the construction, plan ahead, leave a little bit early. That gives you a little bit of time to kind of cool down, think in your head how your day is going to go, how work's going to go, and just listen to that music and just leave a little bit early so you don't have to speed or put other people's lives in jeopardy. And that's all we ask, is just to try to slow it down, because it is a raceway out there. And it seems like it's getting worse because the weather's getting nice, Neil.
yeah.
And whenever the
the
weather
car
gets
today.
nice, guess what? Everybody gets out and about, and like you said, when you see for miles, like down in Prim, they can see for miles. They think they can just take off and go. In their mind, they're like, "Hey, we got to get the vacation."
Yep.
It's better to get there safe than to have something happen where you injure yourself, your family, or somebody else. And that's why we want you to slow down.
They have the convertible down, and they're blasting past him at 100 miles an hour like nobody's business.
Yeah, go a little bit slow, go a little bit slower, save some gas,
Yeah.
enjoy the car that you spent all the money
See,
on.
this
Absolutely.
is what we need to tell people.
Don't have to worry about wrecking it.
Save the gas.
Yeah.
Right? Like, go slower, save the gas. Right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then like they have there's plenty of stuff that you can do. Like I know you got a sports car, right? Or maybe a few. There's plenty of things you can do, right? I mean, there's if you have
I heard that they have the racetrack down there.
to drive it. Yeah, well, they have the exotic racing, but you can. I mean, they have Spring Mountain Racetrack and stuff like that, and then they have. You can go. There's Test and Tunes up at the Drake Strip, I believe. Those are still going on Tuesdays.
I think it's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope that people respect the fact of not driving too close. You know what I mean? All right, we'll look right here, and we're gonna wave goodbye. Okay? All right, see you later.
Bye, guys.